Yeah, Charlie Robertson. I'm the Global Chief Economist at Renaissance Capital.
Right, Charlie, thank you so much for talking to us. We very much appreciate that. So we've listened to all that's been said today, and especially looking at your new book that you're about to, that's on the market. So you're talking about the new economies coming up. So what do you think are the challenges facing Africa? How do you think those can be overcome, in your opinion?
Well, I think we heard a few very interesting things today. First, the priority given to the private sector. 10 years ago, the government felt it had to do everything, had to run the telecom system. The result was 1% of people had a telephone line. Now you let the private sector do it. 50 or 60% of the population in Nigeria have access to a mobile phone. And that's been an amazing delivery through the private sector. And I think this is what this government in Nigeria truly grasps. So they're letting the private sector deliver growth. And the government's then saying, how do we best support that? And one of the ways is to make sure the government finances are stable, small budget deficits. They're not running up debt in the way that they used to on foolish projects which have happened in the past. It seems to be much more sensible. Keep the macro right and let the private sector thrive. Now there's a huge number of challenges for the government to address: infrastructure, education, all of these things they have to try and do at the same time. But they're getting the basics absolutely right.
Right. So Africa, with 6 to 7 countries on the continent, with one of the fastest growing economies. So how do you think the continent can balance having such a huge informal sector to its growing economies?
The problem of inequality and poverty is a problem that everybody has. In China today, there's 200 million people in poverty. And this is a country with a per capita GDP of $7,000. Nigeria, it's about $2,000. Many African countries, still $1,000. But as you move from the rural countryside, subsistence farming, and you move into a town, your quality of life isn't great by Western standards, but it's better than it was when you were a subsistence farmer, which is why people do the move. But when you start to earn more money by being in the city, you have created more inequality. And that just gets bigger and bigger. What the government needs to do is try and give the opportunity to as many people as possible. And education is the most important way that they can try and do that. The more money invested in education, primary schools, that's already been done. Nearly 100% of kids now go to primary school. That's an amazing improvement on 30 or 40 years ago. Now the next challenge is secondary schools.
So let's talk Nigeria. You know, they have the problem of piracy, terrorism, and still they face a lot of challenges with rule of law. Do you think that somehow affects the foreign direct investment that the country receives?
It does have. I mean, where does most foreign direct investment in the world go? It goes to rich countries. Why? Because it's stable, it's easy, and you've got rich customers. For companies that are looking ahead 10, 20, 30 years and trying to see growth, well, then it's Africa, it's been Asia, to some extent Latin America that is attractive. So you do see consumer goods companies doing very well in Nigeria, and they recognize the challenges. They've worked with the challenges in India before and in China before this. As you get richer, the rule of law usually improves. Corruption usually goes down as you get richer. So companies that have been doing this for decades or generations, they know what's coming next, and they see the opportunity, and that's why you're getting this pickup in foreign investment into Africa in the last 10 years.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Ready, who let us? Okay, so thank you very much for joining us, Honourable Minister, and I'll just need you to introduce yourself and your title for the record for us, please.
My name is Dr. Yerima Ngama. I'm the Minister of State for Finance for Nigeria.
Thank you. So in your talk, you mentioned the challenges facing Nigeria's benchmark price. So what will you suggest should be done to rectify this issue?
Well, I think the benchmark is a technical issue. So once all of us agree that it is a technical issue, then we can actually approach it, and it is to depoliticize it. I think there is in Ghana there is already a committee that always calculates, and I think we are moving towards that. We can set a committee. The people in the National Assembly can have a representation on the committee, and then you have our own model, and then we actually take away the controversy as to whether it will be 79 or 75.
Okay, thank you. So this excess crude oil account has been plagued with lack of accountability. Most recently, Dr. Obiajili Ezekwesili, she was challenging the government to a public debate regarding how much money has been earned in oil this year. So what do you make of all that?
Well, I think her own argument is not on the excess crude account. It is on the reserves. And I think that one is a misplaced argument. Yeah, and I think she's just making a political statement. She doesn't mean what she's saying, because she knows that what she said is wrong.
Dr. Yerima, how many importers are left following the scrutiny and riddance of ghost importers in Nigeria, as you mentioned earlier?
Well, I can say, some of them actually stopped bringing oil, but there are those that have been blacklisted. And some actually are having some other problems, liquidity problems with their banks. So you cannot say that they have left, but maybe they are solving one problem to come back. But definitely the number is coming down very, very significantly.
So what can you tell us, from 150 down to what?
It was 114, and I believe at the end of the day, and even right now, we have less than 20 big players. So, the marginal players will fizzle out later. But we have less than 20 big players right now. And I believe the big players will be those that we will be left with.
Okay. So the UK-Nigeria Bilateral Banking, Finance and Investment Development Conference today. So what actually made you come for this particular conference, apart from being a keynote speaker, of course?
Well, I think you have to come and interact. You have to know those who actually make policy, make decisions, have input. And once you interact, they understand you better, they build more confidence. So what we are here is more confidence building, and also to give you the latest on the management of Nigerian finances.
Okay, before I forget, you mentioned about trying to bring the people from the rural area into the mainstream. Recently, the Nigerian government launched a program sort of like distributing laptops to farmers. A lot of people would criticize it and said, well, it would really not do them much use because some of them are illiterate and they wouldn't really know how to use it. Now, who brought up this idea? What was the intention behind it?
It is not laptop that was distributed to farmers. It is handsets. Telephone handsets, because they receive their own subsidy credits through taxes, and they take it to the where they claim the subsidy. So and also they get information about availability of fertilizer, availability of improved seeds, and that's why it is done. And actually, it worked. Only that it didn't work on the scale that people are envisaging, because I was privileged to actually watch the distribution of fertilizer in my own state, and all the people got their subsidies via their cell phone. The other main problem is that you find about 10 farmers giving one phone number, because maybe in that village only 2 or 3 people have handsets, and that's why government thinks there is a gap. So let every farmer has a handset, and I think that is a good idea, a proposal, and it's not only government, your NGOs, farming associations, they can come together and help. So we have not really finalized to go ahead to actually procure it. It came as an idea. So that idea is there, that government might do it, but right now it is not in the budget. But it's a good idea, and I think everybody is supposed to contribute, and let's see how we can reshape it and make it work. But the fact that every farmer needs to have a handset, that one you cannot fault. But how we can still improve on it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yerima. Can I have a card?
David Fairbank from Amiga Structural Systems.
Okay. So, David, having attended this conference, what do you think? Were your questions answered about Nigeria or trade between Nigeria and the UK?
I think it's very important that Africa expands on its industrial base and works, as I heard in the conference, working with other African states to become more independent and produce finished goods rather than just providing raw materials. It's very important for the expansion of Africa, and I see this as a way forward for Africa.
So did you have any of your questions answered before, of course, I'm presuming?
Yes, that very question. I'm working with other governments in Africa, Ghana, Libya, Mozambique, on housing infrastructure. So yes, but manufacturing housing within country. In other words, building factories themselves that produce the housing, which then helps them expand their industrial base and employment, of course.
Thank you very much. So your name and your position for the record for us, please.
Sure, my name's Anthony Frieze. I work for Pagefield, which is in the communications business in London, based in London.
Okay, so Michael, did you have any of your... Sorry, Anthony. Did you have any of your questions answered when you were attending this conference?
Well, my specific interest was in developing relations between the UK and Nigeria. It's a very exciting time now for the two countries. The supply side reforms of the current government are really transforming very important areas of the Nigerian economy, making it a more attractive place to do business, and clearly it's a fantastic opportunity for British business to be developing both trade and investment opportunities in Nigeria. So that's all very to the positive. My specific interest is really a very simple one, which is that next year Nigeria is going to be celebrating 100 years of unification. In 1914, the protectorates of southern and northern Nigeria were joined together, then under British rule. So for 100 years now, Nigeria has been transforming itself. It's a very exciting time. And of course, we would like to think in this country, it would be a perfect way for you to mark that unification by coming to Britain and celebrating with us and us celebrating with you 100 years of Nigeria's success.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Okay, let's do this. Right. Okay, so Christian, what prompted you to organize this UK-Nigeria bilateral conference on finance, banking and investment?
Well, the primary purpose of putting this event together essentially is to create better understanding and deepen goodwill and enhance access to high-quality information from the policymakers in Nigeria and some of the biggest investors in the market, so that those who are looking to take positions in Nigeria have a greater understanding of the market they're getting into, and also those that are looking into UK investments have also a better appreciation of where the UK economy is and where it's heading and how they can take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, so you had a very interesting keynote speakers. So does the UK, is the UK a major contributor, you reckon, your opinion, to Nigeria's foreign direct investment?
Well, yes, the UK is one of the biggest investors in Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria is the UK's second largest market in Africa, and globally it is ranked 33rd out of well over 200 countries and territories in the world. So historically we have had a long-standing relationship with the United Kingdom and continue to do so. Recently the Prime Minister, David Cameron, was in Nigeria and he was in conversation with the President, His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan, and he confirmed that he would like to work with Nigeria to double the trade between both countries by 2016. So we have a very short window within which to do that. And doubling that actually creates wealth on both sides of the Atlantic. It creates wealth for Nigeria, it creates wealth for the United Kingdom. So this program is actually just a contribution in that process.
Therefore, the mutual wealth creation.
Absolutely, yes. The program is designed essentially to enhance that process towards creating mutual wealth for both countries.
All right. Thank you very much, Christian. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So, Rhoda, just tell us about yourself, your company, and all of that.
Well, I'm Rhoda Wilson, and many people have watched my show on the Rhoda Wilson Show, which is on Ben TV. And I am an independent producer, so I produce documentaries, short films, but also I produce these small business units, I suppose clips that we have on YouTube as well.
So, Rhoda, tell me, when you were coming to the UK-Nigeria conference on banking, investment and finance, what were you hoping to get, especially for your field in the media?
Well, it's always good to meet different kind of people or see what is happening in Nigeria, and I believe that we have to, as media, it is our responsibility to promote Africa and to promote Nigeria. As the High Commissioner said, Nigeria is Africa. If Nigeria gets it right, then Africa is going to get it right. So this is why I'm here, really, to support the event and also to meet people and network.
All right. Thank you so very much, Rhoda.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. So, Priscilla, just introduce yourself for us for the record, just so we know, and what your background is, especially professionally, occupationally.
Okay. Hello, my name is Priscilla Nwikpo. I am a political commentator, I'm a TV host and a presenter, and also a producer.
Okay, so Priscilla, tell us, when you came to the UK Nigeria conference on investment, finance and banking, what exactly were you looking to achieve, especially for your field?
Especially for my field, I came in to see who was here. I came in to hear what they were speaking about, and of course the prospects and the opportunities that are likely to be on offer today.
So do you think all your questions were answered, as in are you satisfied with the answers you got from the honorable speakers and the presentation?
It's always interesting to come to a place like this, because what it does is that it tells you about the improvements that are going on, especially in a place like Nigeria. It tells you, it will give you information in the financial sector, especially seeing as this is also to do with finances. So then, you know, you learn a lot and you pick up, and it also, especially in the media business, it gives direction as to where to head and what to do and who is available for support, and of course how you can work together.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. It was nice meeting you. Hello, Saba. Okay, so if you just introduce yourself for us for the record, please.
My name is Maria Santos, and I work for InFocus.
So Maria, tell me, you've been here for the UK-Nigeria bilateral conference on investment, finance and banking. So has it answered any of the questions you thought you had before you came here with regards to your work?
Obviously, there was a lot of information going on, so some of the questions were answered. But since we're doing in-depth studies on the banking sector of Nigeria, we do need to dig further and to talk with the people one-to-one to really understand how the market is going and how we can approach the best way to the financial markets.
Funny you should talk about research. Have you had any problems with collating data with regards to Nigeria? Because that obviously seems to be one of the challenges that most people are raising about data collection in the country.
We are just starting the project, and what we do is we actually are in the country in order to collect the most data possible. So I can't really answer to that right now, because so far it's going very well.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria.
Yeah.
Okay. You have been very successful today. Why should we care about Nigeria? There is a business to do there.
There's a significant amount of business to do in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the largest oil producers in the world, with a large population and a growing middle class. So disposable income is growing. The economy is going to grow by 7% per year this year, and you can't find that level of growth in many other parts of the world.
What is the story behind UK and Nigeria? There is a connection with those two countries?
Absolutely. The fact that I'm speaking to you in English is actually an indication of the historical link between the UK and Nigeria. Obviously, Nigeria was a British colony until 1960, and many of our legal systems and ways of doing business are based on the British approach. It's a common law environment in Nigeria.
Were you surprised to see this demand towards you? People asking questions, come to you. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, because there is genuine interest in the investment potential of Nigeria, and people are very keen to understand what's going on. And it's only a temporary thing because of this conference. I'm sure most of them won't recognize me tomorrow if I saw them on the streets.
You're based in Nigeria. How is the business over there?
I'm based in Lagos. The business environment is improving all the time. It's a very dynamic environment, an emerging market with significant growth prospects. So there's a lot of money to be made in Nigeria. I think everyone should come.
So if I have a couple of quid and I would like to invest, do you have a couple of tips for me?
Well, it's a large economy, so it depends on what you're interested in, but the Nigerian stock market is growing again, so if you get a local broker, I'm sure they can assist.
And if we want to find you, what do we have to do?
If you want to find me, just go on the internet and go to LinkedIn, type in Wale Shonibare, you'll find me.